The SEC isn't just sick of being snubbed. They are ready to snatch the CFP steering wheel out of the hands of the selection committee and possibly go ahead and boot the Big 12 and ACC completely out of the car altogether. We'll talk about that. Plus, I interview Elite 2027 edge rush recruit T.K. Cunningham, who talks to us about his recent Gold Ball MVP performance at the Atlanta Rivals 5-star and how his recruitment's going, including where Oklahoma stands. It's time for Rise and Shine College Football. Good morning, and welcome back to Rise and Shine College Football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you know you're in the right place. So before you forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. What's up, T-Boomer, David Whitehead, Jimmy Satterfield, Seat Belt Mafia, my guys, how we doing this morning? Thanks for jumping in with us on this fine Wednesday. Appreciate everybody popping in. Make sure you hit that like button as you come in. Scott Walker, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Yep. So, man, I'll tell you, stuff's getting pretty wild as far as all this CFP talk and back and forth between Big 12 fans, SEC fans, all that stuff. And of course, Greg Sankey as well. We're going to get into some of that talk a little while in just a little bit. I almost feel like it almost feels like it's just a bunch of stuff just to like clog the airwaves and have something to talk about on Twitter and shit, because I don't think that there's any way that anybody from any of these conferences is going to try to kill off this golden goose. The more I think about it, it's just wild. But welcome into the show, True Okie. Rob077, my guy, how are we doing, man? Good to see you guys in here. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We're also going to have in about 10 minutes, I believe, T.K. Cunningham, an elite edge rush recruit for the 27 class. Gonna get a chance to talk to him for just a little bit as well. Talk to him about his MVP Gold Ball win, performance at the Rivals 5-star camp on March the 8th, or no, not March, May the 18th. So excited to kind of get a chance to talk to him. I know his pops, and he's a good guy, man, and it looks like he's going to be a heck of a player as well. So looks good. What's up, man? Good to see you, David Whitehead. Let's see who else we got. Ganj, what's up, my dude? Kaysen, you call me Kaysen for? What the hell? Hit the wrong button, did we? What's up? All right, man. What else we got going on in here? Let's see. So just to kind of piggyback on some of what what's already being said. There's a lot of this talk about ruining college football and stuff like that, and I think that there's a possibility that it could happen. I don't really see it getting to that extent. Here's part of the reason. I think there's a lot of things that people forget. You talk about SEC being, it's lock, stock, and barrel ESPN, right? But that's not all that ESPN has interest in as well when it comes to college football or college sports in general. They have a big piece of the Big 12. They have basically the entire piece of the ACC. And, so those are the two conferences that we're talking about that would be replaced. I think it's kind of hard. It doesn't do them any good to torpedo their own programming. You know what I mean? Kind of silly talk. But, you know, is he going to be a 4-year player for OU? I don't know if he's going to or not. I think that right now he's kind of shooting up the recruiting ranks. Now, his brother was a 5-star a few years back. And he was at Penn State. He's not there anymore. I'm not exactly sure where he is, but I tell you, this kid has got a motor. He's big, 6'4" already, 240-ish. Making moves. He was pretty impressive there at the Rivals, 5-star. Like I said, I would say that I like what he looks like. What's up there? No, I was just messing with you guys. No worries. T Boomer, what's up, my guy? But anyway, it just seems a lot of this stuff, and look, we're at that time of year where there's a lot of shit to talk. You know what I mean? And I think that, when you're on the defensive, as I know the Big 12 and the ACC are, I get it. And look, I didn't say it was fair. I mean, we've talked about this a lot of times, that fair is, where you judge pigs and everything else, goats, all that other stuff. It's never been a part of college football. They're going to continue to not have it be and they're all in it to make as much money as they possibly can for the universities that are in the conference. So I get it that right now the Big 10, the Big 12 and ACC are lagging behind, especially when it comes to revenue. They are talking about, going into one of these. I know the Big 12 has been talking about this private equity stuff, which, depending on who you're talking to, it could be pretty sketchy. Now, Wild Ute from the Big 12 Mafia guy, the college football mafia, those guys over there. Now, they do a fantastic job on a lot of this realignment talk. Obviously, it's Nathan Bomber Brown, Wild Ute. They do a lot of really good work. You've got guys like Moen and Immaculate as well. And I mean, they've got guys all over the country really that they talk about this, 24/7 pretty much. And that's pretty much what their stuff is based on. You got a lot of guys in there it was called the Big 12 Mafia for a while. It's moved to college football mafia, but they've got some Big 12 guys, but then of course you got Moen, who's a Big 10 guy. So is Immaculate. There's some other ones that are. In the end, I don't think any of them expect for there to remain 4 necessarily. Hey, Benji, what are you doing on X, man? You're not even blocked anymore. Y'all see that kid that made the cringy commitment video with Lanning a month ago, decommitted yesterday? I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, and they're making SC fans are acting like he decommitted to go there. And instead he's going to BYU, apparently. That's who he's committing to. So that's funny. Got a good feeling the SEC is going to win national championship this year. Yeah, I think that I think you probably need to. Good morning, sir. Yeah, but anyway, those guys talk a lot about and they get in the weeds with all that stuff. I follow it very closely, pay a lot of attention to it. I think that I'm pretty outspoken about what I think about realignment, what I think about, and I couldn't tell you that I'm a fan of the idea of cutting college football off or cutting it into pieces, where you've got the big 2 and then the little 2 and then the group of 6 or whatever, man. I don't care about that. I don't want to see that happen. I think that would hurt college football. Now, I believe that ESPN and Fox know that too. They do. And so again, they have interest in these other conferences and in the sports at large outside of just the SEC and the Big 10. So again, I don't see them torpedoing their own product just to make their biggest partners happy or whatever. That's not how it's going to work. And as we've talked about in the past, they were talking you've heard things from ESPN and Fox where they warned against cutting off 50%, 75% of the country from their little club. Now, that being said, there's a lot. I think that Sankey made some good points yesterday and I know he's cranky about having to hear about it, and rightfully so, because his feeling about it is that, hey, everything we do is to keep you guys is to keep this thing together. We're talking about moving it forward from not just to a 12-team playoff, but all the way up to a 16, depending on how it all turns out. They've been talking about that. They're keeping them in the loop with it. It's something that they're not trying to, they do have the power to basically rule college football for the next 7 years, starting in 2026. But if they wanted to, they don't even have to. Yeah, you're back. If they wanted to, would not even have to consult the Big 12 or the ACC about anything. And they are still doing that. Now, the Big 12 and the ACC are kind of off on their own, having their own little meetings. And again, I'm not necessarily blaming anybody for that, but a lot of the rhetoric and stuff that came out of ACC meetings, the coaches' meetings last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, a lot of that kind of stuff is just a little much, right? What's up there, 5 till midnight? Good to see you, man. But I would just say that, that rhetoric coming out, I didn't blame Sankey when he said, I don't need lectures about what the best for the game or what it's going to be for the best of the game. And I don't blame you because, if the SEC and the Big Ten wanted to just be about themselves, what keeps them from just keeping it at a 14 playoff, going back to a 14 playoff for that matter? Because if they're doing straight seeding and the way that they always did it before during the 14 playoff era, straight seeding, there was no such thing as an auto bid. You just didn't get one. So it was always about the top 4 teams they were going to get in the playoff. That last year, that would have been 2 SEC schools, 2 Big Ten schools, just like a lot of other years. So, like he said, it doesn't, I don't have to. Do you think it helps us to have a 12-team playoff or a 14-team or a 16? No. It brings more people in, which means that they're being more inclusive. Now, is some of the rhetoric that's out there coming from that side and a little much? Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. And I think that they're feeling themselves a little much too in the SEC. I get it. But yeah, I think he is. I think he is kind of looking at. Look, his first job is to look out for the SEC, right? It is, and that's where the disconnect is because nobody's going to look at him and say, "Hey, this is exactly," he's only looking out for everybody. No, because that's not the way they look at it. But here's the deal. And Benji, thinking about it from the angle of Oklahoma and Texas, did Brett Yormark give a shit about making Oklahoma and Texas look bad in the last couple of years of being in the Big 12? No, he didn't. Look, man, as far as I'm concerned, his hand will always be on that last Bedlam loss because he was in the stadium. All the shit that he said earlier in the year about, wanting to see Texas and OU go down. He talked about Texas with Texas Tech, all that kind of stuff. I talked about it then. I wrote a column then that he needed to not be doing that stuff. That it looks like, even the look of impropriety in this day and age isn't the right way to go about it. Well, when you see Drake Stoops get tackled with the ball almost to him, but about 5 yards away, and it ends up landing in his lap as he's out of bounds now because he got tackled out of bounds. That's a game winner. Whether he lands on one or wherever, it was going to be a touchdown. That's a game winner. And the ref is standing right there looking right at it and doesn't throw the flag. You will never be able to tell me that that wasn't shady. You'll never be able to tell me that the year before in Lubbock that Oklahoma didn't make that field goal at the end of the game or in the overtime. Never. But it is what it is, man. Sankey's doing his job for us all. If we go to 9 with this kind of schedule, yeah. Look, and that's the thing is that, everybody just keeps talking about it like it's apples to apples, like having a 9-game schedule. And it really isn't. And people forget that it's one of the SEC bylaws is that you have to play a non-conference Power 4 opponent every year. Now, there's certain times that I think that they can have a waiver or something. I know Oklahoma and Texas got that waiver because of the fact that the way that it messed with the schedule when they came a year early or whatever, right? But, I mean, they're already doing it. You've got Florida that plays most years. I mean, they're playing Miami and Florida State. They did that last year as well. Clemson and South Carolina play every year. Georgia's always playing. I mean, Alabama lines, they've got 2 of them at the start of the year. They've got Wisconsin and Florida State. I mean, hell, LSU, I mean, if LSU was taking on the attitude of the Lincoln Rileys and Matt Rules of the world, they wouldn't have wanted to play that game. And I mean, hell, the last 3 years they've lost their opener to non-conference opponents, Florida State and then SC last year. They're going to play Clemson this year in week 1. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, hide behind the celebration / fair. Yeah, it was not even he didn't even do a good job of like hiding it. And not that he had to. I'm not even, and I'll tell you another thing. I think that Brett Yormark's a hell of a commissioner. I think he's doing a good job for his conference. Doesn't mean that I'll ever be okay with the way that all went down. It won't, it just doesn't. But yeah, took 2 more wins at least. Oh yeah. It was one of the worst calls I've ever seen, non-calls I've ever seen. Especially when the official was not turned away from it. He was looking directly at it from like 2-3 yards away. Yeah, and again, here's the thing. You got to add nuance to that too. Because they always talk about, well, they end up playing the FCS, somebody from Mercer or whatever at the end of the year. Okay. That's also getting ready to go into those big rivalry games. Again, if you look at the strength of schedule, it isn't close. It just isn't close. Last year, I want to say out of the 16 SEC teams, I want to say 10 of them at least were in the top 15 of strength of schedule. And even the ones that we say are, the strength is, they had the easy schedule, Mizzou, Texas. They were still in the top 50. I mean, what are we talking about? Absolutely. Big Ten goes weeks without playing anybody. Imagine a schedule with Rutgers, Purdue, Northwestern, Maryland. Hey, Nebraska. 3 Michigan State hadn't been worth the shit. Minnesota's never been worth the shit. Yeah, I mean, Indiana, when they beat a team that's ranked or it was even bowl eligible, I'll be excited about Signetti. I ain't. I just don't buy it. We should have him in here already by now. Let me check with him, make sure he's coming. Oops, I'm muted. My bad. That you're right about that though. I think that two spots. I don't know, and I mean the few Big 12 people that I've been talking to lately, and I mean they're out there. I You can hear me now, right? You got me now? Say one. Still no sound? It's not muted. Check. Okay, you got me. All right, cool. All right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, we asked Neilio last night, and he admitted, I think that you have to, because here's the thing. I think that if you don't go with this 4-4-2-2 deal, and make no mistake, the Big Ten and SEC don't have to. I mean, they don't have to care what the Big 12 or ACC thinks. They don't. They don't. And you know what? I blame the Big 12 for that. I blame the ACC for that. They didn't have to agree to that shit last year. They should have called their bluff about leaving and doing their own thing, because that's when ESPN and Fox were both saying, "Don't do that." They should have called their bluff, because when they didn't, they handed them 58% of the revenue and complete control over the format. All they did was ensure that you just got more power. Again, I think that too much power is too much power, and power can corrupt and all that. I don't see that as what's going on with the SEC. I don't see it as completely corrupted. I get that everybody wants to take aim at ESPN as much as they possibly can, while they don't do it to Fox really. But again, ESPN has the rights in its entirety to the ACC, and they own the biggest part of the Big 12 media rights as well. You know, yeah, that's fair. Exactly, I understand that, but I think if you don't take a stand at some point, when are you going to? Because now you have nothing to stand on, and that's where I feel like, I think it was a big mistake there. I think it's a big mistake. I think that, because what do you, if they really were going to do that, what do you have to lose? Because if it continues, we're talking about a 7-year deal that starts next year, right? If you got a 7-year deal and you're making 50 million plus more than the little two on average, how are they going to keep up anyway? This is wild to me. 3 permanent rivals for OU. Who I think they're going to be, or who I want them to be. I don't care about Mizzou being part of that. I know that's going to be one of them. Texas obviously is another. When they first started talking about this before OU joined, they were saying, and this came from Ross Dellinger, which means that it came from the SEC in some respect anyway. It was going to be Florida, which I thought was pretty cool. I could see going to the Swamp every other year. That'd be a fun one. I also think, though, that there's a natural rivalry brewing between LSU and Oklahoma. I know OU fans hate LSU. I think it's pretty reciprocal. And I would probably, I don't know if I prefer that over Florida. Either or is fine. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Here's the deal: you're going to play them all. If it goes to 9, you're going to play them all. At least every other year, which I love the idea of that. Right? Oklahoma fans, and I would assume Texas fans as well, are excited about playing this SEC schedule. It's different, Horns, LSU, and A&M, huh? You want to get – that's pretty rough, bruh. For the month of Boganowski. I don't know what that means. Hold on real quick, guys. As far as, would I like to see it be LSU? I mean, I don't know. The thing is, if you add A&M, well, I guess it's kind of the same thing. I guess it's kind of the same thing. But I don't know that I care that much about Texas A&M being a every year deal. Doesn't have to be, Let's see. Yeah, I guess we're not getting TK. So we'll maybe move it to maybe something came up and we'll get him another time. I talked to him on the phone the other day, so I expected him to be here, but maybe he's just running late. Give me LSU. Random thought. It was weird that Bo bursts on the scene and gets an Elite 11 invite, yet O'Neal, who's been a higher rated for longer, gets snubbed. Just wanted to put that. And you know what? When he went out there and did that last competition, I think he lit it up. I think he was winning. I don't know exactly. I know that in the finals or whatever, they do all those different events. I'm pretty sure it's the same way everywhere. I don't think that he had fallen off at all whatsoever. So, but it's not just about like what you do score wise or anything like that. And again, here's what I would say. This just goes to kind of show you where a lot of this stuff is with recruiting and all that, and just kind of how it gets manipulated once somebody's already committed. And basically, when you start looking at this late in the game, you look at Jaden O'Neal, he's been committed to OU since last year. That means there's not a whole lot to write about him. Although there's plenty to talk about at the moment because of the fact that, he's been committed and it looks like he may not be going to OU after all, right? Just got to wait and see. But I would just tell you that in the end, there's a lot to talk about, but because they're not, I think that Bo Bentley is getting a lot of attention right now. Number one, LSU kind of if LSU gets him, and they're probably, I can see the Elite 11 thing being a favor to one of the programs, whether it be LSU or Oklahoma. Because with LSU, I really see it because, they lost the number one recruit in the country last year at the last minute to Michigan, Bryce Underwood. And and what do they got? I know they've got a really good player that from Mississippi State from last year. I like the kid, but that doesn't move the needle the same way as getting a guy that's top end. It's still it just means something, right? I could see them moving the needle and trying to make that happen. I could see BK all over that, his fingerprints. Honestly, who's to say I couldn't see Oklahoma's too? Because I could. Now, who's it going to be? I don't know, but they're not going to get them both, my man. They're not going to get them both. Aggie would throw another tantrum if they made an annual series with you too. Oh, dude, no doubt. Yeah, they don't. First of all, they don't want to play Texas every year. They don't want to play Texas and OU every year and go back to that shit. They got the brakes beat off them damn near every year twice. Almost every year. Yeah, it's no worse than Nebraska, UT, and A&M back in the early days. Yeah, before they went to the split divisions and all that. I'm just saying but the way they supposedly set this up was it going by your record for the last 10 years or whatever, that you shouldn't have to play it. I don't know, man. I think that it's, if you look at the record between Texas and Texas A&M for the last 10 years or more, it's about the same. Now last year they separated, I'm sure, and the year before they've separated a little bit there, but it's not a big difference. It's not a huge difference as far as record is concerned. But we all know that Aggie is just poor bastards. Poor bastards. Number one ranked preseason in college baseball. They don't even make the regional. They were that bad. Number one seed in the women's tournament and don't make it out of their own regional. Get beat by Liberty. Too fucking funny. They're just like Okie Light. They really, really are. I would too, Sugoi, but I got to tell you, I think that's what's coming down the pike. It feels like that. He hadn't said anything to me. I'm just letting you know. Nobody said anything like that to me, but it feels that way to me. And I think it kind of feels that way even if Bo goes to LSU. I think they fumbled it. Silent to OU, that's for sure. Now it's up to the staff to try to get everyone on the same page and keep them both. That's not going to happen. If that's what you're saying, if that's for sure, and I don't know that I believe you necessarily, because I've heard exactly that about LSU too, and he'll be there on the 30th. Now, if he shows up on the 5th and 6th to Oklahoma for his official visit, then yeah, you're probably right. But there's so many things that go back and forth and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's damn, I hate recruiting sometimes. I really do. But Southern Texas, K-State, who? What about them? Did they act the same way as A&M? Nah, no way. A&M is a goofy school. Too much weird. Yeah, I'll do, bro. Yeah, but I mean, just take a step back and look up at Stillwater and you see the same shit, man, other than the damn yell leaders. But they got those weirdos beating their freaking paddles on the wall. I don't know. It's a weird deal. It's a weird deal all the way around. But they act the same. It's that whole, Dent was in here trying to tell me that Mike Elko could really turn them around. I think that Mike Elko's a hell of a coach. I think he could win. I think he could win a national championship. I don't think he does it at A&M, though. There's no way. I wouldn't say that. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't even, and this is the thing, over-recruited isn't really accurate in this case. I'm going to say this again. I like Bo Bentley. I think he's a good player. I really do. I think he's a good player. He's not as good as Jaden O'Neal is. He doesn't have the arm talent. He's not as athletic. I think that this was a matter of, you keep hearing the excuse that, he's shot up the rankings. Okay, well, he was already shooting up the rankings when they offered him. Come on. He knew what he was doing. And I get it that if it's, you want your guy, blah, 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 but he's not, we're not even talking. To me, I go back to what Barry and Mac were saying on their show. Barry flat out said it. Mac was beating around the bush, but basically saying it. But Barry said the same thing I did. I don't think it's close. I don't. But I don't know, Truoki, to answer your question, I think that BV just doesn't want to, like Sugoi said here, he's deferring. and not wanting to. He doesn't want to piss off his coordinator before they ever play a game. I'll say this: Arbuckle, when he was, they went this last week to go and see the O'Neills in Mustang, and was apologetic. He admitted that he screwed it up, hadn't done it right. That's why they had a contingent of guys there to kind of smooth things over. But I don't know. And I think that they had a good conversation. I think they did. But I don't know that you could fix this. Now, if Bo Bentley's not there, if he did choose LSU, yeah, then it's a money thing. And you have to do some ass kissing. Okay. They do that anyway. Coaches do that anyway. It's part of the deal. You know, it is what it is. And I'll just tell you, man, I think it's a mistake. And I think it's just as much a mistake on Venable's part as it is on Arbuckle's. He could have stepped up and said, no, we're not doing that. I like this kid. He's the one I want. He's better. I get it. He wants him to get his guys, but there's no way that you can say it. Yeah, he's not. I don't think he is, man. He is. Look, man, they picked up and moved to Mustang, Oklahoma from California. You know what I mean? They were all in for sure. They were all in for sure. Yeah, well, it's an opinion I have. I haven't heard that word. Those words have not been spoken to me. If I was reading tea leaves, yeah, that's what I think. But that's not something that the O'Neills have said to me. And they talked to me. I mean, you know, they did, but I don't think that they've said any of that to anybody. And I think that part of that, you got to think about it too, though. The part of that is you got to keep your leverage up too. If you're Jaden O'Neill, you don't want to you've got, you're committed. You have the offer. That means that they still have to keep on working to get you. I know this. Florida State has somebody that they're waiting on Jaden O'Neill. They're waiting to see what happens with Jaden before they get another guy. That was actually, I mean, he was Gus's guy. But I think Gus prefers O'Neill as well. So they're waiting on, I mean, that's another thing. It's just one of those things. The writing on the wall says Florida State thinks they got a damn good chance of getting him. There's something to it, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that receiver, yep. He'll be gone too, I think. If Jaden leaves, I think he wanted to play with Jaden. Period. In the story. That doesn't mean you can't go get some other good receivers. I mean, listen, they're out there, man. And receivers there's a plethora of those guys, a lot of them. I'm not too worried about that. And here's the deal. I'll just say this again. Oklahoma's going to spend the money. They have the money to spend. They're going to spend it. I understand that, Joe C's out there talking about how broke it is around there. They're having to lay off people in the fucking department, in the athletic department and shit. But everything I've heard, they got some cash to spend. They're going to do it. Bro, O'Neal could throw that dude. He could throw it. He rips it, man. Again, what did I just say? I mean, Sugoi, what I'm saying is the reason that he's still committed is because he doesn't know what's happening. I mean, not sure what's happening with that. And until that finally, I think they want to be at Oklahoma. But I think, it's a year basically that he's been committed and being recruited before that. I get it that it was Seth's recruit. I understand that part. But I mean, Oklahoma would have damn sure kept Caleb Williams if he'd have stayed. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I mean, shit. I sent you guys. I put it up on the screen the other night. The video of Jaden walking in to Texas camp wearing an Oklahoma backpack. He wore it the whole time he was there. He can definitely throw it, Mars. Good to see you, man. Sugoi Zofix. What's up, my guy? Truoki. See who else we got. Urban. Do you think the days of teams beating other teams 20 times in a row are over? That's a good question. What's up, Daniel Tulsa? Well, I don't think that happens for a ton anyway, does it? I mean, Vandy, Alabama had beaten them 40 times in a row or some shit like that. But here's I'll just say this. I mean, could it be? Yeah. In the SEC, it could be because of the fact that they're all making so much money, but there's still going to be which programs are really willing to spend money on athletics the way that your big boys are, like LSU, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma, like Florida. You know what I mean? I guess Tennessee. I don't know. I think they're confused about what the hell they're doing because, they ran off Nico about money. They went and got him on money. Then they ran him off on money. Now their governor is making rules and laws that, they don't have to listen to your bullshit, the NCAA. Tennessee's jacked up. You're dumb. It's wild to me that continues to go on. I don't know if I hate the idea of O'Neal at FSU or Bentley at LSU. Bro, you don't get them all. You don't get them all. I hate the idea of Bentley not being at Oklahoma. I've come to like the kid. I mean, times I've talked to him, he's a good dude, man. Sharp kid. The interview was fun. His pops and me have talked quite a bit. I like him. They're just good people, But I think it's again, it's not anything that they've said to me, but it just feels like Oklahoma kind of crushed them on it and was like, I mean, you just feel you feel slighted, and how could you blame them for feeling that way? In the Big 12, it is definitely over. Bentley to LSU and O'Neal has all the leverage for a bigger check. Yeah. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. I mean, you got to look at the room. Oklahoma's not, I mean, here's what, if they don't get either one of them, okay. I think that now you better focus on making sure that you keep Michael Hawkins around whether Mateer stays or not. And then you gotta hit big next year. But look, and I'll say this: Arbuckle is a young dude, and he's learning his way around to this. The first time he's recruited on this level, you know what I mean? He's been recruiting at places like Western Kentucky and then Washington State, and I mean, he's recruited really good players. And I think he knows how, but it's not like he's, he never recruited Jaden to go to Washington State either. Which is, I think they asked him that, and he was like, "Man, I didn't think he would go there." So that just tells you that he didn't really. This is a new deal to him. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt on it if they go out and they do what they need to do. You got to go win. But and if he makes the changes and takes care of business from here on out, but you can't be having this happen a lot. And it's not going to look good if either or both of them get away and kill it somewhere else. Because if he loses, I've said this is the worst. To me, I understand him preferring his own recruit. I completely understand it. What I would say is that because he didn't commit to either of them, he could lose them both. I mean, kinda is what it is. Welcome into the show, Big Mike Boganowski. How was the fishing?
Pretty shitty. It rained all weekend.
Did it?
Yeah.
Rained on you.
Spent Memorial. Well, I mean, the first couple, what was it? Friday and Saturday weren't too bad, but yeah, the next 2 days was pretty rainy. Shitty. Just kind of spent the day chilling under the canopy, drinking beers.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
No, but it was relaxing. It wasn't too bad. It was a good weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always good. Good chill time, good chill time. Yeah, we were gonna have TK, Cunningham in here, defensive edge recruit for 27, but I don't know, something must I haven't heard back from him, so
Yeah.
the link was there.
Well,
Something must have came up. We may get him back in here another time.
if you need an up and comer 27 recruit, I got you.
Oh, yeah? Who you got?
Yeah. His name's Marcus.
Yeah?
Yeah,
What I'm talking about.
Marcus.
Bring his ass
Marcus went.
on. I'm
He
I'm a
went.
little offended that your kids were going on the show with, legend, but they've
That
never been
wasn't
on mine. Oh,
well. Yeah, I mean, so when you do your morning, when you do your podcast in the mornings, when they're at school,
I'm just busting your balls,
it
dude.
doesn't really work very well.
Get it.
There's an opportunity. You got lucky. You're just
Yeah.
lucky. Well, one is I couldn't get back in my podcast space, right? Because he was down back in his own room.
Mm.
So I was upstairs in the dining room.
Bogey?
Happened to come through and catch them as they were walking around, getting some grub, coming in to get something to drink, come home from school.
Yeah. How was his camp that you went
Oh,
to
he did
last
good, man. He did really well. Did did really good, man. I was impressed. A lot of other people impressed too. So we're gonna try to keep parlaying this into a couple camps this summer and hopefully catapult him into a big junior year. So
Oh,
got to
yeah.
get in that weight room.
Gotta get that well, and he had that injury, right?
Yeah,
Um,
he had his shoulder fixed after like the second game of his freshman year. Pretty much held him out all year.
mhm.
But yeah, yeah, he had a little issue.
Tell him, Unc, tell him. Tell him.
What do you say?
He said, "That's not an excuse, I'm on all day." You see? They get it. What's up, Unc? Good to see you, man. Let's see. As I know you committed to O'Neal. No, I don't think
Well,
I mean, again, we could do this all day. I at this point, I'd prefer to let's see what happens on the visits. Let's see who shows up where.
yeah. Well, that there's a big kid that was recruiting heavy for LSU.
Mhm.
Um, and he sounds like he's going to Miami instead of the same weekend that Bo Bentley was going to be in LSU. So who knows what could happen, man? It's an ever changing landscape, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, and I mean, kind of talk about this. It's so crazy that how many quarterbacks are in the same place 2 years after they get into college. It's so rare these days.
That's why I can't get too invested in it. You know what I mean?
It's
The
tough.
only the only I'm gonna be real with you right
This
now.
is
Probably
tough.
like the only quarterback that I'm really invested in and really like I cannot wait until it's his time is Michael Hawkins Jr.
Brother,
Like that's I'm serious, man. Like that dude,
ripped. My God, man.
dude, he's special, man. Like I don't know how else we could say it. You know what I mean? Like
Well, and I would
the
tell you
dude,
that I
the
think that
dude's
their
special,
recruits.
man. And hey, if Mateer ends up staying another year and Michael Hawkins has to go somewhere else to play, I'm gonna be butthurt. Like you will see my lip poked out to the max, bro. I will be boo lipped.
So will I.
This
And
is the way
I'm
it
gonna
is.
tell you, I'm a little pissy about the deal with Jaden O'Neal. I think that he's ultra talented. When it comes to his arm talent, it's another level. I don't think that Bentley's the same.
Disagree.
I don't think it's close when it comes to those two guys. Now, I think that Bentley's good.
Yeah.
I do think he's good. I don't think he's I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I don't I mean if you ask me if my opinion mattered.
Yeah, not that my opinion matters either.
If my opinion mattered at OU, and let me tell you something, man, I've hit on a couple people, I ain't gonna lie.
Mhm.
But I would probably take O'Neal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that the biggest contingent of people that most of them in this show. There's a few people that are saying otherwise. I've seen Mars has talked about, that he likes Bentley. There's a few. And
No, don't get
again,
me
I
wrong.
think they're good. I think that he's very good. I do think he's very good.
So don't get me wrong.
I just think there's a difference though.
I think it's Arbuckle's preference, right? But I think he prefers Bentley for what he wants to do offensive wise. But he's also stated that his offense is predicated on his players and his personnel, right?
Sure.
So, like, if haven't heard that come from Arbuckle, I would rather have O'Neal.
Well,
And here's why. Here's
Jaden
why.
can run
He's got
too,
a
bro.
better arm.
He can run.
He's got a better arm, right?
Yes.
And
He's
when
bigger.
we're talking about quarterback runs, right? The +1 in the run game, and being in the SEC. I would rather not have to depend on that to be able to run the ball, but more as use it as a weapon. Like, hey, we're going to keep you honest, and we're going to, do a quarterback counter or a
I'm not
quarterback.
sure that I think that that's what Bentley
And
is, right?
Jaden O'Neal is more than capable of doing that.
You know what his
And
dad
I
said?
don't
His dad was
necessarily
saying
want a
that
quarterback. I don't want a quarterback like Bo Bentley that he is a runner. Like, that's what he does. And, I think it takes a
he
special
can
kind
throw
of
it a little bit
quarterback.
too. He could throw it though.
But what I'm saying, though, is, like, you look at his film, like, he's a runner. Like, he's a for real dual threat
He
quarterback,
is.
right? And you have to be of a special talent and have a special ability to avoid those hits in the SEC and to be able to do that for a season. And
Correct.
that's why I prefer Jaden O'Neal,
Me
because
too.
I don't want my quarterback forced to run or being a runner. Like, I think Mateer's run this year will be significantly less than it was at Washington State.
The thing that makes me laugh about this idea that Jaden can't run. His dad makes me laugh about it. He's like, bro, he's black.
Yeah. There's that. There's that.
he's black. He's an athlete.
Yeah. There's that. There's that. But I mean, like,
it's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, they're both.
He's not a pure runner. He's not a guy that's trying to run. I think that he scrambles to be able to throw the ball more times than not.
Yeah, they're both very talented. Like, I don't think you're gonna. At this point, it's a matter of preference, right? Like, it's who you want quarterback.
And like I said, they kind of. It sounded to me like there was some ass kissing going on last week, and rightfully so, because they definitely fumbled it on how they handled the deal.
Well,
the idea that
depends
they're going
on
to
it.
keep them both,
In
that
my
you're going to be
opinion,
able to
like,
get them both.
the word fumble means, like, it depends on what side you're on.
Well, it depends on it. What if you lose them both?
Like, yeah, but you know what? We'll go back to, how many quarterbacks are with your program in 2 years anyway? So at the end of the day, does it really matter? You know what I mean?
Well,
Because that's
listen,
just
It'll
That's how.
matter. It'll damn sure matter if they go somewhere else and light it up. And you had them literally. You should have probably been able to get either or. You had O'Neal,
Yeah.
and if he goes over to Florida State or wherever and kills it, that's not something that you're easily going to be able to live down. Now, do I think that Arbuckle stays forever? No, I think that if they do very well, which I think they're going to do very well, you've got two damn good quarterbacks in front of either one of these guys that should be able to go out and win a Heisman Trophy. So you do that, that's probably means that you're in the playoff, which probably means that Arbuckle gets a head coaching opportunity sooner than later.
Yeah, I mean, I still think he's like, okay, so let's say in a world where they do fumble O'Neal and Bentley, I still think there's quarterbacks out there that they can go get. Like, it's not like we're going to end up
Oh, yeah, no
completely
doubt.
devoid of talent in the
Come on, man.
quarterback room.
The portal is full of quarterbacks all the
But
time.
I really don't think we're going to fumble and not get either one of them, right? Because there's only so many top spots for quarterbacks, right? And I think at the worst,
Well, Oklahoma's definitely one of those, no doubt.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there's one of those two talented quarterbacks is going to pick Oklahoma.
Well,
And
hold on. I'm
people,
just gonna tell you my feeling on it.
hold on, let me finish with this right here.
Go ahead.
I've heard a lot of people criticize how the O'Neals are handling it. And I disagree. I think they're playing it just right. And he's got a spot at Oklahoma, so don't give up that spot. Don't give up that spot unless you have to.
Not until you have
Because there's that. I mean, I'm not saying this is what the O'Neals are doing, but there's a lot of kids out there that commit to a place, USC, just to hold a spot as a backup plan, and then they still shop, right? And they just hold on a spot so they have a place to go to a Power 4 program, and that's a real tactic. So I'm not saying this is the case with the O'Neals, but they definitely chose Oklahoma and wanted to go to Oklahoma. So why give that up? Yeah, I got it. The quarterback coaches change, offensive coordinators change, but why give that up? Oklahoma is a premier destination for quarterbacks. Like, let's be honest.
Mhm.
So I think they've handled it perfectly.
Who has O'Neals? The O'Neals?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, here's what reading the
Slow
tea leaves though, I don't know that and again, it hasn't been said out to me. It feels like they don't trust him at this point, and once you lose trust, I don't know
Well,
that
I mean,
and Florida State's holding off on another quarterback that would be there immediately, and he's a Gus guy because I think that they think they've got Jaden. I think they believe they do. Otherwise, they would have already pulled the trigger on this other kid.
yeah.
So that's
mean
where I'm thinking. I don't know.
I mean, I see this from both points,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh,
I
I can
see
see it
this
from your angle
I
too.
see
With what
this
you
from
said.
from
Absolutely.
Arbuckle and Oklahoma's stance, and I see this from the
Yeah,
O'Neal family stance, right?
absolutely.
And I know that we're saying Oklahoma fumbled it, but like if you really look at it, like you can't afford to not have talented quarterbacks in your quarterback room. And if you feel like if Oklahoma felt like they need to get to this class, like why wouldn't you shoot for the two best quarterbacks that you think you could possibly get? Now that may be a reach, but shit, why not? Why not try it? You know what I'm saying? Like why not go for it? And I don't know if that was 100% communicated to the O'Neals. You know what I mean?
That's
It
where I think
sounds like
that
something.
the mistake was made. And Arbuckle admitted that he didn't handle it well.
Yeah.
He I mean, that was they were there trying to smooth things over for sure last week.
Well, I
And
mean, if you
I like the
bring
idea
in
that if you can admit that you were wrong, and that was the one of the conversations I had with his dad. I was like, "Listen, man, I think he knows. I think he knows for
listen,
he said he knows. I think he knows for sure that he made a mistake with how he handled this, because instead of just coming out and saying, look, we're going to go in the other direction. You're willing to, we'll give you this. We will allow you to come still, but instead of acting like you were ever going to get both two elite quarterbacks, instead of acting like that, you should have just said the truth.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, the truth.
Well, there's
the
layers.
Truth is hard to find.
Listen,
The
man.
truth is very hard to find,
especially in this fucking recruiting game, no doubt.
The truth is usually lies somewhere in the middle, right?
Mhm.
There's always, like what they always say, there's three truths. There's always three truths, right? And listen, man, like Oklahoma, when you send Todd Bates
Oh,
to the O'Neill's house,
Yeah.
they're Oklahoma's serious, right?
he broke it.
And Todd Bates is one of my favorites, right?
I love Todd Bates.
I'm
And
so
they
serious.
sent EJ too. They sent EJ too. I don't know why they sent.
Yeah, but that's on brand, right? Quarterback, receivers coach, offensive coach, right? That's on brand to me.
Yeah.
But
Why would right?
let me tell you something, man. Todd Bates is like, I got favorites, right? I got a lot of favorites, right? Like when it comes to the top, like, you know, Bates is up there, right? Like that dude. I don't even know if I can describe like how just comfortable and how he makes you feel,
Oh, dude.
right,
Absolutely.
with the program and with your kid going to that program. Like because he's he's really honest, right? But it's not like honest like, hey, you know, bring your son here. We want your son here, and you know,
Sure.
it's like, it's just
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time. But
he's a
he's just
youngster, dude. He's
so
figuring it out, man. He's still figuring it out.
he's so good at what he does, dude.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And it's not cocky. It's not like, hey, I hope your son chooses here. If not, we're gonna find another superstar. You know what I mean? Like he's just he is a family man, right? He is a man, he's honest, and he just he attracts greatness, man. He's like the light of greatness, and we're all
Sure.
just moss, and we just blindly go right to it. You
What,
know what I'm saying? Like that's like that's what
who
I
is
don't know, man. Like
Arbuckle?
no,
Oh, Bates.
Bates.
I
I'm
love
talking about Bates. I'm
yeah.
talking about Big Todd Bates,
Big
right?
Daddy Bates.
Like, okay, so there's like the personal attributes that he has, right?
Sure. I gotta say, I think he broke a chair while
Let's
he was there.
let's look. Hey, let's look at his talent that he's recruited,
Yeah,
and what he's done with a lot of his talent.
he's done.
Like
He's done a great job, dude.
he is excellent. Like
Mhm.
there's excellence right there,
That's right.
and people want to be around that, and people gravitate toward that.
He's never coached a defensive lineman since he was at Jacksonville State that hasn't been a all conference selection.
Yep,
Never.
he's up there, dude. He's up there with my faves. Like there's 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 dudes that you really like, and you really and like I don't talk to Todd Bates enough, to be honest with you. Like
Shit, bro.
I
He's
I
gotta
enjoyed
have. I
talking.
mean, man, if you could have him every day, that's like a immediate.
But
I mean, that's like a having
but
Tony
here, like
Robbins around and shit, man. You know
here's
what I mean?
here's the deal with Bates, right? Like he's like okay, I've said this before. He's the closer, right? Like he's a defensive line coach, but he
He talks
assists
to everybody, doesn't he? Everybody.
he he assists everybody. Like I remember when it was like when I really like realized that Todd Bates was him, right? It was me, Mike, my son Cam, and we went up to Coach Hall's office, and they had a little slideshow that they wanted to show us, right? And I'm not going to talk about what was on that slideshow, but in walks Danny Okoye, sits down on the couch, right? Danny and Cam are like they're like this, right?
Mhm.
Danny Okoye and Cam are like they're like pals, right? And then here comes Todd Bates. And we went through that slideshow, and it wasn't like I'm beating my chest, like, here's what Oklahoma's done, like, here's what we do, here's what I do, here's what Coach Hall does. But it was just like, here's the numbers, man. Like, let's be honest about what we're looking at when it comes to other schools that you're considering in Oklahoma, right? And it was just it was a realization. And it was Todd Bates, man, and he he did a hell of a job, man, and I can see why he is him. You know what I mean? Like, that dude Bates is the real deal.
Oh yeah.
And then you got him and Chavis, right? Him and Chaves, like, when you talk about, like, just like
Chavis is
dude,
a freaking blast.
like, when you, like, just dudes, and you know what I mean? Like I can't even put, like, I can't put Coach Hall there with him, because Coach Hall's in a class of his own, right? Because it's my son's position coach.
Your time waiting.
What?
I was just fucking around playing the Sarah McLaughlin.
Oh, what, tears? No, you ain't getting tears, man. You ain't getting
Oh,
tears.
that's too fucking much.
Hey, listen, man. It ain't too often. That ain't too
I know,
often.
I know. No, man, I like those. And look, they're all fantastic recruiters, man. That's the
Yeah,
whole deal. This
they're top
defensive
notch,
staff,
man. They're at the top of their game, and
absolutely.
and this leads to the case of, like, everybody that wants, everybody that's on Coach Venables is going to lose his job game. Like, you better hope you don't.
Yeah.
Better hope you don't, because
I think it's
you lose guys like that. You
yeah.
lose guys. You lose guys that could be D coordinators anywhere else.
Mhm. No doubt.
So careful what you
That's
wish
what
for.
yeah. No doubt. That's what I say about it is, like, you got to be careful because first off, I'm just going to say this again. I think it'd have to be worse than 6-6 for them to do it, because I just don't see that you want to lose this roster. I don't think that it's not that they can't afford to pay the guys off. It's a lot of fucking money,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know? It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. That shit ain't happening, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit ain't happening.
I don't think it is either. And I don't think it's going to come to that anyway. I think they're going to win at least 8. I do. I think they're going to win at least 8.
Listen, I told you I already dropped a small bag on the over at 6.5. You know what I mean? Already. I said I wasn't gonna do it. If you guys run the tape back, I already told you guys I wasn't betting this year. Oh yeah, I done messed around. Oh yeah, I done dropped a little bag, bro.
Dropped a little bag, huh?
Yep, just a little bag, not too
Dropped a
much. I can't,
bag on me. I
can't
like
afford to go too big. Can't afford to go too big.
Well, man, you got to tell us more about how you feel about
Your
Jay Bates.
I mean, like, if you know, bro. Like that, I don't understand. I don't know else how to explain it. Like, I just feel privileged. I feel privileged and blessed in life to know that I have a personal relationship with the Coach Todd Bates. You know what I mean? The dude's just a great human being, man. I don't know what else to tell you. I feel, and if you just got to be lucky. You got to be
Did
lucky
you
enough
not
to
hear that?
in those circles.
You're not even busting my balls about doing that. You
No,
didn't
I
hear?
don't care. Like, this is, I know you need to hit the like button, man. Subscribe. Damn it. You get more of this. You get more, like, I'll bring a whole nother element to Jason's show, right? Like, there's versatility, a little bit of vulnerableness. You know what I mean? Jason's got this big, hard, tough exterior. Like, he don't give a
Oh
fuck.
yeah, he's hard and tough.
He's never wrong. He's always, when he feels like he's losing, he's got to spin his way out of it and change the topic. Like, not me, man. I keeps it all the way 1,000, and I'm securing my manhood. Right? I can admit that Todd Bates is the man.
He's full of shit.
Look at him. See? That's what he does. Look at him. Let me get Big Cuz up on here, man. Where Big Cuz at? Let Big Cuz get his testimony.
He's in Norman.
Yeah, he is in Norman. You're right.
He's in Norman. Yeah. He was sick on Monday. I didn't have Big Monday. Well, I had Big Monday. We had Jonathan Lewis came on. We had a good show.
It wasn't that big. All right.
It wasn't as big as it normally is. You big bastard.
If it's not big, you call it like mini Monday, not Big Monday, mini Monday. Like when I'm not here and I'm other things, like you got to change the title, you got to get a whole new intro, like take me out of it and just like mini Monday. All right.
I've dropped a mid 5 figures on the over. Nice. Well done.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think we may have to work on that there, Benji.
Well, you know what's crazy is like you knew exactly what to type into YouTube and you pulled that up real quick. Like you listened to that song.
It sounded like what the right thing to put out there.
Is that like the puppy commercial? Like they need like how do you know that song? What'd you type into Google, Jason? Like, is it on a playlist? Do you have it on a playlist?
I knew who Sarah McLachlan is, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that's Sarah. See, I had no idea. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I know who Sarah McLachlan is.
That's crazy. I had no idea that was Sarah. I was a little. I didn't want to say nothing, but like it. I'm not gonna say I thought a certain type of way about you, but you know, you knew how to pull that up with a quickness. You know what I mean? So.
Whatever, bro. I mean, you're not shaking loose of that shit by turning it around on me. Nah.
Listen, hey,
nice try though.
I don't know what you like. I mean, I feel bad for you guys that you guys, you don't get a witness and be around greatness like Todd Bates. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll see.
No, Bates is a real one, man. Bates is the man.
Bates is awesome, man. I love the man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of pretty much everybody on this staff. I don't know Arbuckle, and I'm a fan of his offense. I think that he does a hell of a job. So I'm not. I think that I'm not, but I can call it like I see it too, and say that I think that he slipped here on how he handled it. It's not that I have a problem with him preferring one over the other. I get that part. I'm cool with that. I understand that. I think you got to handle it better is all. What's being said here? Well, listen to that song like eating a pint of Rocky Road. Yeah, that's pretty. You
left out cries while listening to the song.
Yeah, I saw that part, but that's awfully specific there, Ryman.
Rocky Road.
You need to tell us.
Are you more of a Rocky Road? I picture you as like a Cherry Garcia guy.
Yeah. Mike talking up bass like Danielson did Tebow. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Nah, it's not going to be playing again. Hey, dude, I got to tell you, you know why I know that song, though, really, is because I hate that commercial really bad. The ASPCA shit where all those dogs are all fucked up and everything. It's always all those animals are messed up. I can't stand those commercials, dude.
Donate, man.
Donate. Huh.
Give them some money. Hey, listen, man. I put 5 bags or five figures on the over 2. It's just there's a decimal point, right, in my 5 figures, right? So it ain't like, it's like 100 point, like 50 cents.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Your boy can't be out here. I got travel. I got travel staring me right in the face in a couple months, man. We're less than 100 days away, bro. Like, it's finna be June. It's going to be June real quick. And the next thing you know, it's August.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, we're already under 100 days. We got here last year. It was like this.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get ready for this tailgate thing, man. I'm working at some stuff. I'm hoping that it ends up working out the way I think it may.
Well, your boy Cuz got a plan, man. He got the stuff. So, like I said, I'll just be coming in, leeching off you at the last minute for most of the season before I can really commit
What's his
myself
plan?
to.
What's his plan?
Oh, he got some stuff. He gonna stage some stuff down there in Norman and get there and set up and try to do his thing. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So
Cool.
yeah,
Then we'll
we'll
both
see.
be doing it because that's what I'm planning
Hopefully,
to do too.
why would you both have to do it? Why wouldn't you
Or
just
we do it
combine?
together. No, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying.
I'm working on getting the RV I want to get that set up. I plan on being
The
at
problem,
all
the problem with
at
you having an
all of
RV
them.
is you can't set up right next to the stadium when you got the RV.
I
You know
know
what I
that.
mean?
I know it's
That,
more
that
down,
that's the only
more
reason I
like
don't
down
like.
by the basketball stadium,
Yeah,
right? The
and
Noble Center, right? I'm
yeah,
cool with that.
yeah. I see. I prefer like, dude. Like when we went to LSU, like they had an RV set up like with tailgating like across the street from the stadium, like 20 steps from the gate, from a gate to get in there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it was official. It was official as hell, man. Like I think Oklahoma needs to take that parking lot, in between
Oh yeah. The
the indoor and the little outdoor field right there in the duck pond.
Yep,
Like they need to turn that into RV row
that'd be dope.
where people can come in and just set up right next to the stadium.
Didn't
And I know that would take away from some tailgating tent areas, but it's for the greater good of SEC tailgating atmosphere, right? Like that we might have to sacrifice that and make them find somewhere else. That way, the big dog RVs can pull in right next to the stadium.
I don't know that
And
it's like that
do their
everywhere in
thing.
the SEC though.
Well, I tell you what, it needs to be. It needs to be like that at Oklahoma because that's what, dude. The same
Well,
way at K
hey,
State,
listen, let's just
bro.
be real. Oklahoma hasn't had the best
But it's
tailgating
comparable. Now, don't
experience.
get me wrong. Don't sleep on it. It's comparable. Like we're mid SEC. You know what I'm saying? We're not at the bottom, but we're not at the top. But if we want to elevate and get better and be SEC ready, we might want to think about that, right? Like there's space to do it, right? There's plenty of space for this to happen, for people to tailgate and to lock down their spots, right?
It
But
feels
there's
like
not
they're
a lot of space
resistant
for
to a lot of it
RV.
though. It feels like they're resistant to a lot of these ideas
They
though.
are. They have to come up off it though. They
Yeah.
have to come up off it. You know what I mean? They have to
Speaking of
stop
coming up
resisting.
off it,
They have to come up off that temptation to resist. You know what I mean? Like we have to do better. Like it just feels like, oh, we don't want people tailgating here because we want to keep them off the grass. I don't know. I'm just making that shit up, but that's my old Army shit. Like stay off the grass. But I don't know. I don't know what else you could think of. Like I feel like that whole west side of the stadium, like there's nothing there tailgate wise. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to say I've been over there on a game day. I'm pretty much on the other side, right? Because I'm at the tailgate I go to, and I got to hit up the Walk of Champions, right there. So that's usually why I'm on that northeast side. But I don't even know. Do they tailgate like that on the west side? What's that?
I don't know. It's been a while.
What is it?
It's been a while.
Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat? And
Tailgating over by Campus Corner is legit. Also, the inflatables and tents just north of the Student Union is legit too. Yeah.
yeah, I wish I had that juice, bro. I
I'm
wish I
telling
had
you,
that.
well, I wish that Joe C had some juice right now.
Yeah. Well, that's why I want to know.
I say, speaking of coming up off something, he needs to come up off this talk about like acting like Oklahoma's broken shit.
Yeah.
Knock that shit off.
I don't know what he's saying or what he said. What did he say?
That they had to let a bunch of people in the athletic department go to pay for NIL and rev share. The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Why?
Yeah, it is what it is.
No, it's
What's
not.
the South Side look like?
Not is what it is. Don't talk about shit like that. What's the matter?
Well, I mean, I agree, but like he's already said it. So like, I mean, he said it. I don't think he just shot off at the mouth. He said it for a reason.
Shut the fuck up.
He said it. He said it for a reason. I feel like he said it for
He said
nothing.
it for a reason. No, he's saying it for all this bullshit reason. Here's my feelings on it: that they're saying it not because they're broke. They're saying it because they're all behind this Deloitte clearinghouse shit, which is aimed at fucking over these athletes. That's why he's saying it. Everybody's they want that thing to go through so bad. Not like it's not. That shit ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Immediate lawsuits as soon as they shut down one of those NIL deals.
Dude, have you guys ever like that?
Is that true? It's probably true for Mizzou fans there, Rob. It might be true for Mizzou fans.
Have you ever been over there by the sorority houses and frat houses after a football game?
I have.
You've just seen the carnage of dude, I had a video one time. I think I got rid of it, but like the next morning we were leaving and for some reason we drove through there. Maybe we were going to the little breakfast spot. I can't remember the name right now. I can't remember why. It's my favorite spot, but we were driving through there, and dude, it was
row.
God, there was so much shit everywhere. I was like, I do not envy these motherfuckers that gotta clean this shit up, dude, because it was crazy. The neighborhood jam. That's my spot. But yeah, the west side, the book, yeah. But what about the south side, like where the old Walk of Champions used to be? Does anybody do anything in that grass right up there? Because there used to be a couple tailgates up in that grass, along this in between Headington and that building right there, and on
I'm telling you, it fell off.
There's still a lot of room.
It fell off pretty badly there for a good 5 years, easy.
Well, I mean, even from, but that's what I'm saying. So 2020, the year prior to last year, 2023 year, like the Walk of Champions came through there, right? Before they walked into the stadium, right? So there was a lot of people tailgating, and that area was pretty packed. Did it die off since they moved the Walk of Champions to the north side of the stadium?
I think that had something to do with it, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, right? So those people that are in the parking lots over there, right directly west of where the Walk of Champions, or east of the Walk of Champions, those people need to, hey, this is now RV area. This is the RV. This is like and it's not like just the basic bitch RVs, right? These are the big time Class A, Class C RVs, the big shots, the people with a lot of money. Like that's where they go, right? Here's your perk for being a big donor or paying a lot of money. You're 100 feet across from the stadium.
You can pay to do it.
Other people, the regular Duggalers, go down to the south side in those grassy areas, and that's where you tailgate now. Like we're gonna block this piece of the parking lot off for the big timers and the big time RVers that are gonna set up, an experience and do it big. You know what I mean? That got the money to do it big, right? Because they just don't let the regular people, like even at K-State, like the regular people don't pull their big ass RVs up on the north side of the stadium. Those people got a little bit of this, right? And that's got to be the same way at Oklahoma because people will do it. People will pay for that. Like I guarantee that.
Oh yeah. I
mean,
you can get people like for us, we could that would be easy to get somebody to sponsor that to be doing that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm telling you, Oklahoma, I'm here if you need a call. If you need some help, just give me a call. University of Oklahoma, I'm here to help.
Are you?
Yeah, for free.
I'm
just here to help, man. Because here's like Oklahoma has to this last year in the SEC when they went places, and I don't know who these people are, but they should have been walking around at other SEC venues and taking notes. Like your boy was taking notes at all the SEC spots I went to. Like I'm like, oh, I like that.
Oh yeah,
this sucks. That's legit.
That's what they got to step up their game for sure to catch.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell
but listen, man, like Oklahoma Stadium is very comparable, if not one of the better stadiums in the SEC, right? And if you haven't watched Sooner Legends podcast, you see Mike B's top 5, right? Like top 5. That's what there's 5 topics that I talk about at each stadium, right? And where it ranks, you know what I'm saying? What I like, what I didn't like, and like parking, concessions, the stadium, the atmosphere, those are some of the topics. But like there's Oklahoma can definitely do better and should do better. And like I said, University of Oklahoma, I took notes. I know what it was. The only game I didn't make it to a road game was Auburn, but I've been to Auburn before, so I kind of know.
Yeah, they
Kind of
kill
know
it too. They
about.
do a great
They
job.
go hard. They
Yeah.
go hard in the paint.
Mhm.
Right. So like we got to do better. We got to do better with our in-game experience.
Yeah.
With what we're going on, we need to get my guy that talks, at timeouts, whatever. We need to get his mic, more in tune with the regular sound coming out of the speakers, because it sounds like when he comes on, it's about 200 decibels higher, and it's kind of annoying. And I don't know. We could do better.
I feel you. No, I agree. I 100% agree. I think it. I think K-State does a really good job of tailgating.
Mhm.
But you haven't seen that a ton of places around the Big 12 lately, though.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
There's a wait list. There's
fell
like a
off.
year wait list to get your RV in around K-State. Like I know a guy, I used to work with a guy that had a spot. And so like there's like a wait list, but there's like a super secret list, like where we know this guy's leaving. We could sneak you in, and circumvent that list. You know what I'm saying? Like on the hush hush, right? So I mean, like it's pretty crazy, man. Like Kansas State does a good. Here's what I like about K-State too, right? You can walk out at any time you want and come back in free entry, right? As long as you got your ticket stub, you can rescan, walk out, come back in. Like I feel like Oklahoma, you got to allow these people to leave the stadium at halftime if they want, walk over to their tailgate, get a drink or two, and then head back in. You don't act like you ain't making like that's going to affect your bottom line. I don't think it really will, because those people that get that drink at halftime are probably going to for sure keep buying drinks up to the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you might get them a little bit more loose, and they might buy more. Because shit, every time I go in that Oklahoma, I'm spending a couple hundred every time on concessions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's expensive, bro. It's expensive. Jaron says, humble question. Do people really believe that Jaden committed last June and was told last June that OU needed 2 quarterbacks? And Jaden said, problem, sign me. Just asking. No, I don't think that people think that. I don't think that. That's where we were. I mean, that's what we've been talking about today. I think it's one of those. It's just where that it's not exactly what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna go watch him play, though.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna go watch him play. And yeah, I mean, hey, and guys, shoot, Jaron, you guys just keep coming up. Everybody wants to talk about it for sure. We didn't even bring it up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hey, are y'all coming to any camps in the summer? O'Neill's, are they coming up to any of the Oklahoma camps? I'm curious. He says.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that or not. Yeah, I hadn't
coming
even.
up and throwing. You know what I'm saying? Come up and show them what's up.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna leave that one alone because I can tell you, I'll tell you later about what I think about that. But I'm not gonna. I don't want to say bad shit about anybody here right now.
You know, that's funny. That's funny coming from here.
Thanks. Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Definitely, he says that. I knew this. That's why I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Well, I hope. Hey, man, if you see me, come holler at me. I'll be there June 5th. I'm bringing my middle child Marcus. I'm bringing him down, and then I'll be there the following 9th and 10th for the U camp. So Yeah, hype. If you're there, man, you see me, holler at me. Come on, holler at me, man.
The following month?
Hmm?
You'll be there the
Yeah.
following month as well?
In
I
June.
may also. So, you know what? Something I do want to bring up. I don't really know where this is headed just yet, but Darian Holmes. You folks that have been watching me for a long time know about Darian Holmes. My guy from San Antonio. It looks like he may be getting back into football. I'm excited for him. I hope it all works itself out. Yeah. I love it. But shout out to Darian. I hope you're watching right now, and good luck to you, man. We're gonna get that figured out for you. We're gonna find a place for him to play this time around. So pumped up for him. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
Let me show you a video. I want to show a video then. Let's see. Oops. Damn it. 1 second. I'll show it at the end whenever we get out of here. But because I'm gonna have to drop it down. So I gotta compress it before I can do it. But looks like he may be going to a JUCO out in San Diego. Possibly. 6'3" receiver, great hands, baller. Straight baller, man. He's one of those guys that fell through the cracks. One of those guys that fell through the cracks. Excited for him though, man. I hope that all works out. He said, absolutely. See, I'm gonna have to see this young man play, see what I'm missing. Shoot, bro, he's a player, man. He's got that big ass arm. Did you see that video that I showed of Jaden when he threw that deep ball and did a backflip?
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I've said it before, dude. When I first watched O'Neal's tape, I was like, hell, that shit is different, bro. Like, you don't see too many kids, that are throwing a ball like that, man. It looked different coming off his hand, man. The pop, the touch, he look.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal. Which is why Auburn better go with Deuce. Yeah, they better if they want a chance. I don't know. It feels like did it feel like to you that Hugh Freeze he's pumping the brakes because I immediately thought, ooh, he doesn't like his quarterback.
Why'd you say that?
When he was on that show last week and he was like, they were talking about the pressure and he's like, yeah, we got to make a bowl game this year. The fuck? This is Auburn, bro. They don't give a shit about the bowls. They want you to make a playoff. You know what I mean? But I was like, for him to downplay it like that, knowing damn good and well that ain't going to be enough, damn good and well, it's because he don't like his quarterback.
It's very possible.
And he's not sure that Deuce will be ready right away, although I think that Deuce might be. That's the first thing I thought of if I told him like.
Well, I mean, like, I guess let's say Jackson Arnold wins the starting job, right? Like, how long of a leash does he have, right? Like, does
he make it to week 4? That's the question. I don't know that he does. I don't know that you would want, if I'm Hugh Freeze, even if I like him, he's got a phantom injury that week. If I'm Hugh, if you trust Deuce at all, you know what I mean? Like, because I think he's liable to have a nervous breakdown when he walks into the damn stadium.
Yeah.
Piss down his leg.
Imodium on tap, bro.
Yeah.
Keep that shit in your little hand warmer.
Yeah, bro.
Couple pills down in there.
Yeah. Have a fucking nervous breakdown. Have a Quinn Ewers moment.
Hey, man, you ain't really played football if you ain't had one. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Man, I've thrown up before games a few times. Yes, nerves are real, but
Yep. It's fucking got the. That shit happened to me, man. My freshman year, my first game we played was at Arizona State when they were ranked. That was back when Arizona State was
pretty good. Yeah, I
I'll
remember.
probably say almost a damn like.
Yeah, who was the coach back then? It was
Fucking, I have no clue.
I'm trying to remember.
Right after Jake the Snake Plumber.
They were good though. Yeah, it was. Oh yeah.
Right after that cat.
It was there probably.
Dude, I was like, dude, let me tell you something, man. Went out for warm-ups and everything was cool. And I was like, man, I'm all right. Shit, dude, we ran back out there like right before the start of the game, and the stadium was full. It was
rocking. Sun Devil Stadium gets rowdy too, man.
Dude, your boy ran out there, stood on the sideline, ran right back in the locker room. It was in and out the locker room for the whole first half, bro.
Oh, dropping deuces.
Hey, it wasn't even like I was finna play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what happened, bro. I just walked up to the trainer. I was like, hey,
you got something to stop me up here?
I need some Imodium, man. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What was struggling?
That's awesome.
That's the only time that ever happened, though. That's the only time it ever happened. And I actually did get in the game. We was getting our ass whooped, and I did get in the game.
You did?
Yep. Toward the end.
Yeah.
I think they had Redmond. I think Redmond went like 95 on us one time.
Yeah.
He was a running back. Yeah, it sucked. But hey, we went back there, whooped that ass when they were ranked 35-7.
Deshaun Watson. I don't think Deshaun has that kind of arm. I think he's got an arm. I don't think he has that arm.
What are you talking about? Like right now or back then or when? Because Deshaun Watson's terrible.
I don't think he had an arm back then like that.
Well, he had a couple
receivers. He had receivers that and he was a good player. Don't get me wrong.
He had a couple years in the NFL now. Let's not act like that.
He did. But I don't think he was never as good as Baker was.
When?
I don't think he was ever as good as Baker was in the NFL.
Oh, dude. I'm trying to tell you, dude, like Deshaun Watson had some years where that dude was like. Now Baker's had some good years lately.
I was thinking, wait a minute. Baker won a playoff game in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm talking about like.
What are we talking about?
Are we talking about numbers or winning playoff games? Are we talking about numbers or winning playoff games?
Hey, look, I think that you have to put in to context where they were, who they were playing for.
Dude, you act like Houston was good.
They were pretty good. They played in the AFC Championship game that year. They got the shit beat on them. No, I mean, they were up 21 points in that game and lost. They were pretty loaded. D-Hop and freaking dude, they were. They were loaded. It's not the same.
They had Odell Beckham in Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that worked out well. OBJ was a fucking pain in the ass. Houston wasn't good till Watson arrived. I mean, they had some talent, bro. Oh, he was good in college.
Schmitty. Old Schmitty season.
Yep. All right, man. We've been going for a while. I got to get to work. So we're going to go ahead and call. Actually, let me make sure that I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop this video for everybody to watch on the way out. But right after this commercial break, right after that, then we'll do that. But no, man, I appreciate everybody coming in. Make sure you're hitting up hitting up the sponsors. I know some of you guys are bettors, so you should definitely be going with my bookie. Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, my bookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie and Hall of Fame College Football. MyBookie, get your deposit match. It's a good deal, man. Get hooked up. And hey, it's still 6.5 there for Oklahoma. It's free money. It's free money. You got to do it. You just got to do it. That's what I'm going to be doing. No, man, I appreciate everybody coming in, though. Big Bo.
Yeah.
You got Big Cuz.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come on the show, though, ever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He doing big things. But all right, man. Holla at me, man.
All right, man. I'll holler at you guys later on. May, you got to check out this video, though, too. You got to check it out. Oh, well. Maybe we'll hit it up this weekend. By the way, TK got a hold of me. We'll either have him back on this weekend or I'll have it early next week. We'll figure it out, but we'll get TK Cunningham back in here. He had something come up, so appreciate.
We're back on Sooner Legends, bro. We got him.
Sooner Legends this afternoon.
Yeah, we got him back.
Mike in the afternoon on Sooner Legend podcast. Yeah, man. Make sure you guys get over there and check it out. You get to see the Boganowski children and shit on that show. You know,
one time. Look at how salty. You want to get more? I'll call Marcus right now. Have him come down. You want to have Marcus come on?
We should absolutely have Marcus come on.
Probably he would be one of the boringest one-word answers you'd ever get. But
no, we'll give it time. We'll give it time, man.
Good. Yeah. It was good. It was smooth. It was smooth. Yeah. I was Ryan. See, I just saw this comment. I was at Mexico State from 97 to 01. The medical redshirt.
My old quarterback played same years as my old quarterback did.
Yeah.
Or part of those years. He was already a junior when you got there?
I had 2 years of Ty Hodling.
Yeah, Ty. Old Ty.
Who
was the quarterback after him?
Casey Ensminger.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
Yep.
Right on.
Curtis. All right, man. Holla at me.
All right, brother. See you guys all later on. Check out Darian on the way out.